Hello everyone, welcome back to Science with Zeros. This is your host Aaryamann Sharma, and I hope you're staying safe in this whole COVID-19 situation. Speaking of which, today we are going to discuss about coronavirus and can it be cured by Ayurveda, the world's oldest medical science. So get your snacks and drinks ready and let's get started. So you all are aware of the whole pandemic situation going on worldwide. There are thousands of new cases every day across the globe. Scientists and researchers are working really hard to find a vaccine. Doctors are risking their lives to cure the patients. Governments across the globe are taking several measures to fight this deadly virus. Indian government has started its Vande Bharat mission to bring back the Indian citizens who are stuck in different countries. The world economy is seeing a major hit by all this. Cities and countries are in entire lockdown, and according to experts, it will take a good amount of time for this virus to eradicate and for world to start functioning properly. This whole situation is pretty deadly and is getting bigger day by day. Now Ayurveda, the mother of all healings, is being believed to cure coronavirus. Ayurveda is a medicinal system having roots in India and can be dated back to more than 5,000 years ago. We were having methods of various complex practices such as plastic surgery, treatment of cataract, stones, diabetes, and even amputations. We have ancient texts portraying various severe diseases which were known to humans back then and along with their treatments. In China, traditional Chinese medicine had played a significant role in controlling the disease. In fact, this was officially included in the Chinese guideline on diagnosis and treatment of COVID-19. Special wards and hospitals were set up which were using various Chinese medicinal practices along with the Western medicines. It is reported that more than 60,000 cases were cured with this practice. And following this, it is quite logical and essential to explore how Ayurveda can help in addressing the COVID-19 challenge. According to the stats, about 80% of COVID-19 patients with mild symptoms require only primary medical care. 15% require urgent medical attention at secondary healthcare services, and the remaining 5%, those are critical cases and require intensive care, and therefore they require an instant transfer to tertiary healthcare units equipped with ICU. And those 5% cases which require this intensive care, the disease progression is gradual and requires up to 9 to 10 days to progress from symptoms of upper respiratory tract infection to acute respiratory distress syndrome. This ARDS is often followed by uncorrectable hypotensive shock, multi-organ failure, and eventually death. That's how deadly this virus is. And following the epidemiology and pathogenesis of the virus, a pragmatic and plausible plan for action for Ayurvedic intervention was presented by the expert Pan India, which complements the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Ayush, a body of Government of India, for boosting immunity among the masses. Though it is not limited to prophylaxis alone, it also addresses therapeutic domain as well. So let's see what Indian government is doing in Ayurveda. Back in April, government of Kerala announced that they have decided to use Ayurveda in mitigating the disease. They will be classifying people into 7 categories based on the possible spread of the virus, and they would be advised Ayurvedic treatment as per this classification. And astonishingly, an Ayurvedic medicine was approved for clinical trials on COVID-19 patients by the Clinical Trials Registry of India, a body of the Indian Council for Medical Research. And this medicine was developed by 𝒗𝒊𝒕𝒉 Herbal Research Organization, which is a renowned Ayurvedic organization in Kerala. And as per the organization, this drug, which is effective against respiratory infections, viral fever, acute viral bronchitis, has now been found to be effective against the respiratory syncytial virus and influenza virus in the scientific studies conducted. And now, Ayush Ministry, along with the Ministry of Health, has launched the clinical research studies on Ayurveda interventions to deal with disease and as a preventive and curative measure for it. And these studies will be backed by the technical help from ICMA, yes, the Indian Council for Medical Research. Ayurvedic medicines such as ashwagandha, yashtimadhu, guduchi pipali, and a poly-herbal formulation known as Ayush 64 are being used in the clinical trials involving health workers and those working in COVID-19 high-risk area. The researchers would test ashwagandha for prevention against the virus in subjects with increased risk during the COVID-19 pandemic and will do a comparison with hydroxychloroquine. Another study is to assess the effectiveness of Ayurveda formulation as an adjunct to standard of care for the treatment of mild to moderate COVID-19. Ministry of Ayush has also developed an app called Ayush Sanjeevani to gather and generate the data on acceptance and usage of Ayush advocacies and measures among the population and its impact in preventing the novel coronavirus. Previously, Ministry of Ayush prescribed some immunity boosting guidelines for boosting immunity because obviously prevention is always better than cure. Those guidelines included drinking warm water, practicing yoga, having 𝒁𝒆𝒏𝒄𝒆, milk with turmeric powder, drinking herbal tea, etc. etc. You can easily follow a lot of measures at home and that too quite economically. You can find all the measures on the website, which is ayush.gov.in. So that is all for today, guys, and I hope you would have enjoyed as much as I did, and I believe that this podcast would have been quite informative for you. I urge you to download Aarogya Setu app and Ayush Sanjeevani app and follow as many measures as you can which are prescribed by Ayush Ministry. Do share this with all your friends and family as it will be quite helpful for all. And with this, I would like to take your leave. I am Aaryamann Sharma and you were listening me on Science with 𝒁𝒆. We will meet on a new episode, and till then, stay home and stay safe. Thank you and have a great time. Goodbye.